I'll survive anywhere, in any situation.
Right.
I left my country, which I've never done.
Yes.
I'll only come.
Getting any salary, you are not making any money, you are totally dependent on me.
Did you have any pressure?
The only motivation was send money.
Feel someone has knocked my door.
Advice that I got from one of my friend.
It helped me, and it helped me so much.
I wanted to attack my mental pressure. The person who is on H1, right, he keeps on speaking a lot, and he or she speaks for the spouses as well. One of the advice which I can give you, because you don't have to be dependent like this.
I have had one person coming to me and talking shit stuff about random things, and the way he was talking to me.
You are not that much exposed to the office environment yet.
At least learn something. Like I learned driving. If you're someone like me who really thinks I don't want to be dependent on his money.
My name is Ketan.
My name is Nupura.
We discuss life of Indians in USA,
relationships,
and self-improvement. Let's get to it.
We decided H4, right?
Yes.
H4 visa.
So we'll be talking about H4 visa today. For the people who don't know what H4 visa is, it is a non-immigrant visa. It's a dependent visa. For example, anyone who comes from India, Pakistan or any South Asian countries to USA, they come on H1 for work. So US government ने ये बोला है कि भाई जो कोई H1 आता है, so they can get their dependents as well to US, right? And that visa is called as H4 visa. One of the challenging part of this visa is you cannot work here in US. I'll tell you my story. I came on H1 in 2014 and she was on H4 when she came to US. So my first question to you is, describe your life on H4 for first few months in US.
I would say it was mix of emotions for sure, because I left my country, which I've never done. I left my house where I have lived for 23 years, first of all. And I ended up here. I was only relieved for one reason, that you are here.
Okay.
And we knew each other for like couple of years by then, right? By that time. So that was the only relief I had, and you had some friends here whom I did not know directly, but I knew them through you. Other than that, it was a new country, new culture, everything was new.
Okay.
And the first thought when I came in was like, where are people? Like there was just no one. And I came in March.
Right.
It was start of spring, kind of, but I couldn't see anyone, obviously, because it was little cold, it was little chilly out there. But then one thing, if you remember, I asked you before we decided that I'll be coming to US was, will I get to work?
Yes.
I'll only come if I'll get to work.
Yes.
You remember that,
yes.
right? So the answer you gave me was that company is going to do your green card processing.
Exactly.
And after certain stages, that is I-140 is approved.
Yes.
I will get my work permit and then I can start working.
Exactly.
But there was some span.
Right.
Right? So that's how it was. Like I knew that one day I'll be able to work. And that's not too long. Maybe it's a break which I'm getting.
Okay.
And I'll just make most out of it. And then
so that
I'll
was
start
your
working.
motivation to come to US, considering ki you'll be able to work.
Correct.
Right?
Number one motivation.
For the people, I'll give you a context what I-140 is. People who are on H4, they can work at some point. If people on H1 go through a process called I-140 process. If that process is approved, then there is one more process called EAD. On that EAD card, H4 people can work.
So EAD is nothing but employment authorization document. Which the dependent person gets, and then you have to apply for SSN, and then you can find a job.
Right.
So that was my story. Yeah. But then how was your experience? Like how were you to think about it? Like, okay, I'm getting my wife here. She has been working for this time, for this long.
Okay.
It was just 2.5 years, but still. Did you have any pressure, or what you were thinking? Like, what if your I-140 doesn't get in time?
For sure. I was in pressure for sure. And there are a lot of things, right? So, see, when I got married, I was so happy ki bhai, you'll come there, right? But when I...
Here.
In US, yes. But you know what happened to me at some point? I was thinking ki when you will come here, I'll have so salary. right? I was getting somewhere around 78,000 salary in the month of January 2015. Okay, so I was just thinking ki see, my salary is 78,000. So when I call you, where how should I save money, right? Because my main motivation of coming to US was to save and make more money.
To make money.
Right, I had no thing of getting to know a lot of people, getting to know diverse people, learning about the American culture. It was more of just one thing: ki make money and send it to India. Right, on 30 of every month, I used to send loads of money to India. That was my main motivation.
And you must be saving a lot because you were alone.
Exactly, I was saving alone. I was living alone. I used to save a lot of money. We used to cook food at home. It's the only motivation was send money. Then when you are about to come here, I was like, what should I do with this, right? Because obviously there are two people. You'll not be working, and even you may have some kind of aspirations, na कि बाबा ये चाहिए वो चाहिए. Although you did not ask for anything like that, कि मुझे इधर जाना है, मुझे movies जाना है, right? If you go
I asked, but you said no.
Okay, let's come to that. But it was very difficult. It was pressure for me, and it was pressure money-wise and also mental-wise. Also, I'll tell you why. When I used to go to office, right, I used to think, what are you doing at home? Because in the first place, you didn't know how to cook, right? So I used to cook for you, but I wasn't sure कि तू खा लेगी कि नहीं, right? Because I don't even know कि बहुत तुझे माइक्रोवेव में तो गरम करने को आता था तुझे.
Little too much.
I know this is too much, but again, you will do it or no because you were lazy.
I was lazy.
Right? मुझे ये नहीं पता कि you will go, you get the plate, wash the plate for a second.
I remember you used to ask
rinse it, and then you microwave it or not, because that was the pressure that I was getting. At the same time, I was getting pressure from my office also. My office was like कि ये अगर काम नहीं होता है तो शायद तेरा पत्ता हिल जाएगा and will fire you. ऐसा कभी बोला नहीं, but this is what I used to assume.
And I think subconsciously everyone thinks about
exactly.
it. Every
And
non-immigrant.
any non-immigrant, whenever they are outside in US, अभी US में हूँ actually, we are very scared of losing our jobs. Right? First thing is वो अपने attitude पे आता है कि बाबा तुझे job से निकाला गया है. Second thing is you'll have only 2 months of time to find a new job. तो वो भी pressure था. So number 1 pressure was पैसा. Number 2 pressure was mental pressure कि what are you doing at home. And number 3 was it was more of hey, क्या बोल रहा था मैं भूल गया. मैं क्या बोला. I know. And third thing is about the work pressure.
Work pressure. Okay, you already talked about.
Yeah, but I want to articulate it into one thought. So I was just telling you that that was my main challenge.
Yeah.
Right? But you tell me, what were your challenges when I used to go to office? What you used to think? Because you are not that kind of person who will watch Netflix.
But I started.
You started. Tell me. I just walk us through that process. Like what happened? What made you start Netflix? Because I think we had this conversation long back with my friends, and my friends were teasing you, ki bhai, what are you doing at home? You are getting so much time to watch Friends, and you were like, you don't like Friends. Okay, can you talk about that? Can you talk about the process?
So actually, back then, at least the friend circle I had or people I was meeting back in India, none of us were fans of Netflix or Prime. I don't think so. Even we had Prime back then. I don't remember exactly. But watching any web series, even on YouTube or anything. Maybe I used to watch Shitty Ideas Trending or something of that sort, like short series, but nothing like Friends or Office or stuff like that. So I think you recommended that before coming, try watching something so that you'll get used to the culture a little bit. And
Right.
And I tried doing that. But for some reason, I was not the person who could take it.
Okay.
I think that was just the starting phase of it. Like, for me, it was the first time to understand. And everything was new. The slang was new. The language, everything was new for me. So it was a little difficult for me to understand.
Right.
But when I moved here, there was nothing else for me to do.
Right, you
like,
have to do
you
that.
were cooking. I did not like cooking. I did not enjoy cooking. Secondly, I couldn't drive back then. Like, I took a license in India. I passed my test. That also he recommended. That better you get India's license, like you learn driving there and come here with the license, so that it will help you with the insurance. You get a little bit of benefit if you have India
Right.
experience.
Right.
So I did that. So I just knew driving. We had a car. But I think you were you were not taking the car to office, right?
No, I was not taking the
Yeah,
car.
so car
I
used
was
to be
relying
the
on the
car.
public transport to
Yeah.
go to office, and she had the car.
I had the car, but I did not. I had not started driving in US.
Right.
Back then. So I didn't know how to take the car around. There were no people around. So the only thing I had with me was calling India people.
Right.
Like, what I used to do is, once you leave, you used to leave around like 8:30.
8:30, 9 o'clock, I used to leave. Yeah.
I used to enjoy saying bye and everything.
Right.
I used to see from the window, okay, he left bye and everything. And then the first thing I'll do is I'll either call my friends, I'll call my relatives, I'll call my parents, his parents. I'll call everyone in the world.
Right.
So that, like, I can spend most of my time. And also because of daylight saving thing, I think I had a good... I think I had a difference of 1.5 hours, I guess, kind of.
Right.
So when it was like 12 noon, like here, it was like 10:30 night for India folks. So it was easy for me. Like, people are awake till like 11:30 or something. So I had good enough time to, like, chit chat and then have my lunch and do that stuff. But then that's when I started watching all Netflix and series, stuff like that.
Right.
And eventually I started enjoying that. But still I was not satisfied, or I was just not happy. I can still remember the days when I used to lie down on my sofa. You remember we had that bulky sofa?
Right.
So I used to lie down on the sofa. There used to be TV here on this side. And I used to keep watching outside ki kuch to dikhega, koi to dikhega. Like, just in the windows, in the balconies. But yeah, obviously that's not a thing here. It's not very common. So whenever I used to see people, I used to get excited ki wow, there's someone around me. Nahi to there's no way for you to understand ki koi aaju baaju rehta hai.
Exactly.
So,
to give context to few people, unlike India, इधर क्या होता है कि there are no people around. Like, people are there, but they'll not come outside during the winters. तुम लोगों को आवाज भी नहीं आती बाहर क्या चल रहा है. It's so silent, right? एकदम. और ये इसकी practice इसको नहीं थी when she came to US. Yeah, she came from Mumbai.
Thane. It was such
and
a
इनका अगर ऐसा है गजबज मतलब इतना मतलब सब लोग हॉन्ग करते हैं, बहुत सारे बच्चे इधर उधर घूमते हैं, कंटिन्यूस आवाज आता है. बट सडनली ये जो ट्रांजिशन था was very difficult for you.
It was almost like I turned deaf.
Right.
Like, it was almost like I couldn't hear.
You couldn't hear anything.
It was something like that.
No, I totally understand.
Pura pin drop silence. Even my friends or parents used to talk to me now on video call. They used to be like, "Yaar, kitna yaar wahan pe shanti hai. Like, we cannot hear a single thing in background." It is that. Even now you guys can imagine कि कितना clear होता है. मतलब there's no noise pollution at all.
Right.
But one thing I remember is, so because these are wooden doors, क्या बोलते हैं, wooden houses or apartments, right? So there used to be a knock on the side door or ऊपर वाला door, and I could hear everything.
Right.
Like, I used to feel someone has knocked my door.
Right.
So that was the only sound. One thing. Or the second thing, I think there was someone Punjabi upstairs.
Yes.
And they used to
we
play.
We figured that out on Sunday. We were just watching TV and suddenly we get to know कि कोई तो कुछ होता है का.
Some songs they
बजा
played.
रहा है.
नहीं, कोई तो Punjabi song they played.
नहीं, कुछ होता है था.
Then
it was on Sunday.
It was Punjabi.
No, later on we figured out कि they are Punjabis.
Okay. So yeah, they were playing some songs. So I could hear those songs. मतलब imagine, इतना crystal clear.
मतलब इधर के walls ना इतने पतले रहते हैं. We get to know कि what's happening at neighbor's house.
If you talk little loud, you can hear.
अभी हमारा ये individual house है, तो इतना मतलब neighbor के साथ इतनी connectivity नहीं है. But if अगर हम लोग वो बड़े अपार्टमेंट में रहते थे, मतलब बड़े बिल्डिंग में रहते थे, तो शायद आजू बाजू क्या चल रहा है वो थोड़ा तो आवाज आता है.
Correct.
Right? But also what I felt was कि that time we were isolated. And the reason being कि I was bachelor. So again, I have all friends who are bachelors, right? And they tried to keep us in isolated mode so that अभी
We
भी
can have
शादी,
good time.
we will have a good time, क्योंकि हमारी भी शादी अभी भी हुई थी. They wanted us, to get along with ourselves और enjoy करो. तो इसलिए they were not coming at all. So it's like me and her, and there were like few other families also. और हम लोग भी इतना socialize नहीं करते थे जितना हम लोग इधर करते हैं, right?
Actually, I feel Boston being a metro city.
Right.
I think metro city's culture is a little different. I don't think so. We would have socialized the same way
Exactly.
again in Boston, even in this period
For
of time.
sure.
Because your life gets busy.
And we would, yeah.
Like if you remember, you used to leave house at 8:39 and you used to show up back again at 8:39.
Yeah, around, I used to take around 30 minutes to go to the office. मतलब commute में 30 minutes जाने का, 30 minutes आने का. And then not 30 minutes actually, 30 minutes to the station near my office. And from there, I need to walk around 10 more minutes. So it used to take me 45 minutes to go and 45 minutes to come back. So 90 minutes इधर गए मेरे.
And then you used to go to workout.
And then I used to go to workout. And again, 10 minutes from my house to the station. So सब मिला के 2 hours for just commute में जाता था मेरा. So the same thing does not happen here in place we are currently living in. We are living in Omaha, Nebraska. छोटी city है, village बोल सकते हो. एक place से दूसरे place तक we can hardly get there in just 15 to 20 minutes. Max मतलब हम लोग पहुंचते हैं. So I think US में जैसे इंडिया में भी state by state cultures different होता है, US में भी cultures एकदम different है each and every state.
Correct.
Right.
तो मेरे लिए passing time till 5-6 it's okay.
Right.
But उसके बाद it becomes difficult.
I used to get home by 9 p.m. Yes.
So and उसके बाद I think you used to cook.
Then I used to cook. Exactly. My Friday. Do you remember our Fridays? I used to get chicken at around 8:30. I used to prepare. I used to start cooking at around 9 p.m. तो मुझे लगता है कि 1 घंटा तो लगता था to cook the chicken. And after that, we used to eat food around 10:30. Right? I used to take a drink, मतलब पीता था मैं. And I think even you were drinking, right? You used to also drink too. And then we used to enjoy. And then we used to sleep at around 11:30, 12 o'clock.
नहीं, I think we used to sleep little late.
Little late? Okay. So that was the thing. And
Friday, if you remember, you used to work from home.
Yes, actually. Then why I thought I used to come. No. If you remember, not every Fridays I used to work from home.
Maybe.
Right? Because I remember I used to get chicken at 8:30. That is for sure. Right? So I think not every Fridays I used to work from home.
And
Sometimes
also like कभी-कभी अपना weekends होता था ना ऐसा कि like we used to think कि क्या करना है, what to do. And then you pass time ऐसे ही, what to do में. And then you video call everyone and उसमें time चला.
तो time नहीं मिलता था. So, and I'll get to the next point. One of the advice that I got from one of my friend before you were coming is, he told me कि see, your wife is coming from India to US, right? So do one thing. Don't at all tell about your friends to her, right? Don't tell them कि बाबा ये ऐसा है, वो ऐसा है, ये फैमिली ऐसी है, वो फैमिली ऐसी है. Let her come here and let's give her some enough space to make her own stories. Right? मतलब क्या होता है पता है, usually ऐसा होता है, right? For example, if I'm telling about a person and you start thinking about the person the similar manner what I have told you.
Correct.
Right?
Obviously.
If you have met that person afterwards. Right?
Correct.
That is the reason I did. You were asking me, okay, tell me about this guy. How is he? Because we were having conversation on phone. तो मैं बोलता था कि मैं इसके घर में खाना खाने गया था, उसके घर में दारू पीने गया था. Then you used to ask how is it? तो I was like telling ऊपर से. But when you were coming here, you asked me, tell me one, tell me few friends' names so that, I can go and chat with them if they are home alone, right? Then I was like, hi, ऐसे लोग हैं, but you come here and you make your own perceptions.
Correct.
Right? What was your thought? Like, did it help you?
No, it helped me, and it helped me so much that I keep giving that advice to everyone else.
Okay.
Because that was true. I have met people in person who have tried to create a perception of someone else in front of me.
ऐसे होता ही है.
And if you remember, I discussed it with you, and you were like, "Don't go with what they say.
Right.
Just hear what you think it is right.
Right.
Everyone's experience could be different.
Right.
So just go with whatever your perception is. And
Exactly.
I keep advising everyone on that, like make your own stories.
Make your own stories because you never know, right? क्योंकि हम लोग एक बोलते हैं, सामने एक रहता है, अंदर एक रहता है. You don't know कि what a person is going through.
Correct.
Right? And we try to make our own stories. तो वो बोलते हैं ना, ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बजती है. It's like two stories, right? It's not like we are right every time. They have their own stories, but just because they are not telling the stories doesn't mean कि भाई we are right or they are right.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So it's their life and it's our life. Correct. We have to figure out the way we want, right?
Correct.
So coming to the second thing, I wanted you, just that you were sitting at home. I had three kind of pressure. Let me revise it once again. Financial pressure, right? Second thing is mental pressure. Third thing is work pressure. I wanted to attack my mental pressure, okay? Because you were sitting at home. Back in the office, I used to work, but part of my mind was thinking about you, what you are doing. Because you were not TV watcher back then. So, what I thought was, I told you also, why don't you get an NGO job, which is kind of customer facing, right? Where you will meet Americans, lot of Americans, right? Why? Because when you talk with Americans, you'll try to understand their culture, right? Instead of me coming and telling you, शाम में कि नुपुरा देख ऐसे बात करने का Americans लोग उनके साथ वैसे बात करने का, you figure out your own way.
Correct.
So I asked you to get a NGO job in customer facing profile. I want that was my main agenda. I told you कि ऐसा कुछ तो job ले which is kind of customer facing. And you were lucky to find one in Boston. You were going every day at 9 o'clock, come back 9 baje raat mein, right? And it was a customer facing. You were dealing with people every day, right? It was kind of a reception job. They were not paying you anything, right? But tell me ki, what did you learn from it, right? Because you were coming and telling me experience each and every day. Like if you can just pick one or two experiences and tell it to the crowd so that any H4 people, they can take some meaning out of it, right? Like if they really want to get exposed to the world. Because let me give you one more context. What I've seen in US is lot of people, there is husband and wife, right? Like there is wife and husband to like even husband come on H4 nowadays. So I don't want to generalize any statement. The person who is on H1, right? He keeps on speaking a lot, and he or she speaks for their the spouses as well, right? But what I want from this podcast, whoever is listening, is even they should talk. When person on H4, man and woman, whoever it is, they should talk. They should represent themselves well, right? Because what happens is they do not talk. It is because of the communication skills too. Communication skills is not about language, the way we spoke. It is just that you pass your emotions to a different person, the way you want. Right? You use your English words, you use your Hindi words, try to make a story, tell. You have to be a very good storyteller.
Correct.
But how will you be a good storyteller? By talking a lot. So tell me, at least give some experiences to the people. That way it will help them also to articulate that thought and come out, bahar aao aur baat karo. Right?
So it was more of like, because I didn't know anyone other than you. Like except the friends, I'm not considering the friends factor here. I didn't know, as you said, I didn't know much of the culture part of it. Like everyone greets everyone like, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?
Right.
Okay. So that was one of the biggest thing I got to know. That everyone comes in
and
will
they
say,
hi.
hey, hi, how are you? I'm like, wow, I should also learn. I talked to you and then you were also like, yeah, that's what people do here. And you also start reciprocating the same way. So then even I started like, hey, hi, how are you? Happy weekend, happy this, happy that, whatever it is. So that is one thing.
So you learned about hi, how are you first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what happened is like, the more I started talking to people, the more I got to know about their lives.
Okay.
Like how they are, like also one more person shared with me, like they are looking for a cook. For example,
Okay.
this
Was it American?
No, it was someone Indian only.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, they were looking for an Indian cook.
Okay.
Like, Indian family looking for an Indian cook.
Okay.
And I was like, wow. These, like, because we have always heard there's no labor in America, right? But that's not the fact. There is labor, but it's expensive. So, I got to know about that thing. Okay, this also happens. Like, people hire people to, like, cook and clean and do this stuff.
Right.
So that was one thing. The biggest one I remember now when I say about cleaning is, there was this cleaning lady who showed up one day to get some stuff. And I just asked her, like, she was like, I'm so tired today and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why? What happened? Like, do you do a desk job or what type of job you do and all of that? And she was like, I'm a cleaner.
Okay.
I was like, what? You're a cleaner? And the way she was like,
Dressed
and everything, she had eyelashes, she had makeup and everything on. I was like, that was so little of me to like, be like, oh, you're a cleaner?
Oh, did you ask that?
No, I did not say, but then it was in my mind, back of my mind, this is what I was thinking. Like, she's a cleaner and how come she's like, so well dressed and everything? Because that's what our thing.
Right.
Back home, that's how maids and everything is, right? Service, like they are considered to be the low income category people, and not many maids you'll see that will be well dressed and everything. That was wrong of me, is what I think now. But when I saw her, and I was like, wow. So that's when I realized that everyone has a respect here, like irrespective of your job.
Okay.
Everyone respects everyone.
Okay.
Like, that was an amazing thing, irrespective of the job.
The first thing was, hi, hello, how are you? You knew how to greet, like, people started greeting here.
Yeah.
Then second thing is, you understood about the respect.
Correct.
That everyone gets.
Correct.
So, yes, come on, give me some more.
And then next part was more of the commute. I would say that was not customer related.
Okay.
I would say,
but
then it was something like, because I learned to commute by myself.
Like from house to the NGO location.
House to the location and then back home.
Right.
So it was a long commute.
Right.
And that was also something where I learned many things, because while returning, it was just me most of the times in the train.
Right.
There used to be no one. And I was scared because it's a big city and everything, right? I was scared. But then I learned my independence. I learned that, okay, things are going to be fine. I can be by myself. And I think that got me more confident to like, keep going with this thing.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll survive anyway.
Right.
I'll survive anywhere, in any situation.
Right.
So there were certain things like that, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole process of like, meeting people, making more connections. With some of them, I'm still not in touch, but I follow them on Instagram and we see each other's photos and everything.
So the best thing for you was that you got out of your
comfort zone. I got out of my comfort zone.
First out of your house.
Yeah.
So when you go out and when you're all alone by yourself, you are you, right? You try to figure out all the things.
Correct.
Half of the things you don't know because it's altogether a new country. So, ye nahi aata, kaise find out karne ka? You can't call me every time. You're not one of those.
Correct.
And that this is one of the advice which I can give you. Like, you don't have to call every time to your husband or wife ki ye main udhar hu, main udhar hu. No. You figure out your way, na? You figure out your way. Try it. Jaise ki, for example, if there is a bus and it did not come, so you have to go and ask someone. Go, there should be some people around. Hey, excuse me, can you tell me about this bus? Americans do not understand our pronunciation that much because they use slangs. Try to be very simple. Hey, hi, how are you? Okay, breathing space. And then I'm just looking for this bus. Do you know any updates on this bus? Very simple. You don't have to call your husband or wife saying about kidhar hai bus, ye tujhe pata hai kya, right? Because you don't have to be dependent like this, right? This is the advice. And then in your NGO location, every time people used to come, they used to talk about you, right? This is how it is. Like first 3 minutes, talk about you, talk about them. And then you understand a different flavor of language, different flavor of words coming out of their mouth, right? That's the thing.
Different slangs,
right? And then you used to come home and used to discuss with me. Oh, there was a different slang, right? I'm not saying ki bhai ratta maro, wo slang maro. No. Slang is not our thing, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is try to communicate in the simple language.
Correct.
Right? You don't have to use slang, right? Half of the jokes which Americans talk about, I don't get it. No, really, I don't get it. When there are a lot of other people, laughing, I also laugh sometimes because I want to give them a sense of belonging. Ki bhai, I'm part of you.
I think everyone does that.
Right? I don't get it, but ठीक है भाई, I don't want to know. Like कैसा है पता है? If I'll ask them कि explain me the joke, they'll go in altogether different direction,
they'll do a
and
lot
I
of
don't
detail.
want to know that joke. Okay, what my tip is in that, be very simple in language. Okay, no hyphen language. Okay, no that no accent. हम लोग सब बोलते हैं ना, no accent. Okay, this is the bus. Simple bus का example. This is what it is. Right.
Correct.
So tell me. Let's move to the challenges again. Did you face any challenges outside? Any example like बाबा क्या करूँ मैं US में आई हूँ and suddenly like you don't know what to do. Has it ever happened?
Not challenges as such, but I would see challenges in a way like looking for the path and everything, like which bus to take, which train to take, and all those type of challenges will be there all the time. Okay, but I knew a little bit from you, like which app to download and how to travel and how to navigate myself. So that was covered. The challenges I would say is like different types of people.
Okay,
like not everyone would be the nicest possible, right? There has to be some people who did not have a great day, and maybe because of that they are rude, they're grumpy, whatever it is.
Right.
So I've had those days. I have had one person coming to me and talking shit stuff about random things, and the way he was talking to me, I was like, what's wrong? What did I even do? I was clueless.
Okay.
But then I talked to other people, and then he was shut up, or he was like, taken care of. So I got that relief, but then I was a little scared there. Like,
for sure.
What is this? Like, so, so I was a little scared. Like, what is this? Like, why is he behaving like this to me? And stuff like that. So not just him, but there were few more days where people will be little grumpy. They won't talk to you nicely, or they will be just like, like mind your own business kind of a thing.
Okay.
So other than that, I don't really think of any challenges. By then I had started driving, so I was taking the car around. I knew how to go around. I knew most of the stuff by then, and that is how I learned. I don't think so we had that situation that you were teaching me things.
Right.
Maybe you may have taught me first time, but after that I was ready to take it from there. So I think that was one benefit of coming from a metro city too.
Okay.
That I knew certain things, how things would work.
Tell me about tell me about the food-wise challenges that you had. Like, were you open to have any? Because the thing is, see, you were on H4. You are not that much exposed to the office environment yet.
Correct.
Because if I was exposed to the office environment, I used to go with the colleagues outside. I used to eat food, like diverse food. I was used to it. But when I used to take you to some restaurants, you were like, no, you don't want to have food. But at some point you changed, right? So tell me about this process. What used to happen when you used to see the foreign food? Foreign food as in food which you are not exposed to.
Correct.
You don't like it. And at some point you started liking it. So can you tell me about this story?
Frankly speaking, the stuff I used to like when I was there in Boston was just Chipotle, Subway, bahar ka khana.
Okay, Chipotle is a Mexican restaurant. It's kind of Indian restaurant. It's kind of Indian flavors. Okay, it's more spicy. It is basically एक दाल रहता है, एक राइस रहता है, and उसके ऊपर सैलेड डाल के देते हैं. And lot of Indians love Chipotle.
Yeah, it has rice, so why not? Right?
Yes.
And then wraps too. So
okay, wrap मतलब एक चपाती जैसे रोटी जैसी रहती है, and रोटी के अंदर वो सब सैलेड और राइस मिक्स करके देते हैं. Yeah, please go ahead.
So Subway. Now everyone knows Subway.
Yes.
Chipotle, Subway. These were my favorites. Then the second was Mexican, if you remember.
Yes.
Mexican reason being because Mexican has a lot of Indian touch to it, like spices, as he said.
Right.
Mexican maybe spices, they have fajitas and all of that. And India maybe used to have sizzlers. So it
Sizzlers जैसा ही रहता है.
Fajitas are fajitas are Mexican sizzlers, I would say.
Right.
So it was something like that. So I knew how that tastes.
Right.
And that was good. I would say the rest of the stuff, like having Thai, now later I also tried Vietnamese with few of my friends and other stuff. I would say that I learned after coming to Omaha and not when I was in Boston. Because we used to go out, but we never used to go out so much. That, and again, I used to complain, right? Not this, not that, and blah, blah, blah. I think my first encounter with Thai food was here in Omaha.
Okay.
With my office colleagues who were new to me.
Okay.
So I couldn't say no.
Okay.
And uske bhi pehle, all the office colleagues, we went to Who Hot, if you'll remember, the
Right.
Mongolian grill restaurant. And
Right.
I was like, I was hating it, but I had to do it because all wanted to go there. It was decided. But in Boston, I was really not open to, like, you know, have anything you keep on my plate. I was like, pretty
Right.
reserved.
So, in short, what you're saying is when you were exposed to the office environment, whenever you used to go, that's when you got exposed to the food.
Correct.
When I used to take you forcibly, chal udhar ye khata hai.
Because you'll ask me, right?
Right.
कि कहाँ जाना है?
So
And
office
then
में
I'll
क्या
say-
होता है कि it's like, you know, you see it on the table and then you start
Correct,
tasting it.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
But what is the advice that you can give to the people who are on H4 who are not going to office yet?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Where should they start with? Like, what kind of food they should start with? Chipotle, right?
Yeah.
Chipotle mein they can start with. After that, slowly start with Thai.
No, I would say Mexican first.
Like, okay, get Chipotle. Like Chipotle is
But
Mexican.
then Chipotle is not 100% Mexican.
Like, get into
So,
Mexican food.
Yeah.
And then
To have that touch.
and
And
then
eventually you can try the Thai food.
Thai food.
So even now, if you ask me, I'm not a person who will go on and see the menu and be like, okay, I can order anything. No, I won't do that. I am not that type of foodie. I can try every cuisine, but I cannot be like, you know, anything I'll eat.
Okay.
So abhi bhi mera menus are confirmed.
Confirmed.
What
Right.
I'm going to have. So I feel what I can do or people like me can do is when the other person is trying something new, I can just have a piece of it and be like, okay.
But
I'm
not
liking
necessarily
it or
ki
not.
you are going with anyone. Like, you cannot ask this, like, right? Ki, can I share with you?
But first of all, on H4, more of you'll go
with
your
your
family
families and friends. Okay,
and
so you
friends,
can ask,
right?
and that's how
Yeah,
you
I
can
feel,
keep building on it. Okay,
you can do that.
Yeah, that is
because
one thing.
Unless and until you try. Now, that's what we do with our friends, right?
Right.
Who are on H4, who
Right.
don't we are very specific to H4 because those people are the ones who are not working, or else everyone wants to work, right?
Right.
So yeah, we have some friends who are not working, we take them out. Like, we take them as in we go everyone together,
Right.
and then we make them try something different, right?
Right.
If they like it, well and good. If they don't like it, then no problem.
Right.
So I think that's how you learn, and that's how you'll explore more and more.
Right. Also, tell me now that we are talking about food, restaurants and all, how, like, I know I don't know how to put it in words. I'll try to use my best abilities to do that. But whenever we used to go to a restaurant, used to say, ki, bhai, you are not getting any salary, you are not making any money, you are totally dependent on me.
Yeah,
right?
I never used to like
so
that.
you were not spending that much.
Yep.
Right? Tell me, like, you know, can you just give them a tips, ki, what you think they can do? See, this is not again, I'll just repeat it once again. This is not a prescription ki bhai aise hi karo. It is just that ki one of the tip that you think, you know, can give to the person. What do you think? If they don't want to spend, they don't want to rely on their spouses, you know, to pay because they are not earning anything.
No, that makes sense. And I had that thing too, right?
So
Because
she was not shopping at all.
Yeah,
she
I
was
used to
was not asking for $10 also.
Yeah,
Because
I
first,
was trying my best.
she was trying her level best. She used to. I guess ki you were not shopping at all. I don't
used to
even
shop, but
very little, hardly either.
When more of with you, like if you're shopping something, then
Right.
I'll tag along. And
I was not a great shopper,
Yeah,
right?
you never used to
so
shop
I
a
didn't
lot,
see you
so-
like ki shopping things.
That's true.
So what do you think what people should do on H4? They are not earning, so they should
See,
rely on their spouses on that.
It is tough. Like, you know, if you come with the mentality I have, because I made, like, I was earning back in India for at least 2.5 years. So I had that, and why I started earning was also because my parents were always behind me that you want to go for masters or MBA or something like that, like, you know, get more educated and all of that. I was like, no. I want to start making money.
Okay.
Like, I want to make my own money so that I don't have to come and ask you.
Right.
That give me money.
Right.
Like you as in parents.
Right,
Okay.
right. No.
Back then. Later, it was you.
So you have that you had that independent element in you.
Yep. The independence element was something which was bothering me when I was here.
Okay.
In the initial
Is there any
months.
way did you take it away from you?
Not really. But then what I would recommend is, like, you know, even if you try, see, one day you will be able to work. One day you will get that work authorization and everything. But at least the time period you have, if you don't waste it, like, you know, at least learn something. Like I learned driving. I'm not saying like follow me or anything. I've not done anything great, but basic things I'm talking about is like maybe you can learn driving so that tomorrow when you start working, you won't be dependent again for the commute. So you can try driving. You can start exploring the city. So that if you get a job, you know how you're going there, where you're going, whatever it is. So you can start exploring that part. Meetup groups is one good
very nice
idea.
Nice point.
And I tried doing that. Like meetup groups is something like people gather, there are different topics and everything. You get, there is a meetup.com website where you can, like, you know, look for some discussions or group discussions and stuff like that happening around your town. So that was one good thing where you learn about people, you learn about community, you learn about your technicalities, right? Like I was QA, so there were some QA meetup groups and everything. I did not get to attend many of them, but then I'm just saying out there that there is this option too. So what I'm trying to say is, or if you have any hobby, you can try and build that hobby, work on your hobby. Not necessarily you will make money out of it because you're on dependent visa again. But then maybe once you clean your hands, get your hands cleaned through. Clean your hands is the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you get an experience. Once you get an experience on that, then you will just wait for your visa to be like, you know, to have that EAD. And then you can get more. See, having H4 EAD is almost like having a green card. You can do anything and everything on H4 EAD. From Uber to like being a CEO, you can do everything. So, like, if you use your time like this, like, you know, just make most out of it, I think you'll kill that guilt within you, saying that, okay, I'm dependent on him. Every day. It will be there for sure. It won't be 100% like, it won't nullify completely, but at least that sense of accomplishment, like, you know, you're working hard towards your goals.
Exactly.
Will be something which will take you there.
For sure.
Then if you really think that, if you're someone like me who really thinks I don't want to be dependent on his money, then try not to, like, you know, then don't shop or anything, or don't be dependent then. I had limited time, so I could do that. If you have limited time, then it's possible. But if you don't have limited time, if you have 2-3 years or anything, then yeah, obviously you'll have to be dependent. There's no other option. And his money is your money too, so not a big deal. But then also education is one thing. I did not opt for that option. Because I knew I'll get my work permit soon. But then if you have a bigger time span, then try to get on your on your classes or whatever, your master's degree or anything, and then somewhere in between try to convert your visa on F1.
For sure. But that is an expensive affair, I feel. Like,
no, but you get the in-state tuition fees.
Like, whatever it is, like at least $10,000 to $20,000 is something you have to, you know, minimum you have to give. And I don't feel at this age, you know, you have to learn, because everything is available on YouTube right now, right? Like, if you think ki you will get H4 EAD at some point, I don't feel ki you need extra education.
What if you're getting H4 EAD after like 4 years?
If that is the case, and if you have enough money, right?
So
then
you
I
can
think
take a loan, right?
You can take a loan, but again,
and degrees,
it depends on person to person. We can have a separate podcast for this, you know, having masters or not, right? In that we can talk. But like the way she said, guys, if you are on H4, if you are coming from India, or if you are already in US, what I'm saying is, try to come here. Okay, for the first few days you'll be lonely. Right, your spouse will go
homesick.
You'll be homesick. You know, try to embrace the homesickness. That is the first thing that you know. Second thing is, you know, get your social security done, because you'll get a social security card. H4 pay, you'll not get a social security, right? So try to open a bank account. You can open a bank account.
Yes.
A bank account open. I know you'll not get anything, but at least open a bank account, okay? And one of the advice that I can give to them is, if you hesitate of getting money from your spouse, try to get a loan kind of thing, right? You know, keep getting some like $100, $200, $300 from your spouse, like kind of loan, as if कि मैं कभी ना कभी तो ये इसको वापस दे दूंगी, राइट? मतलब उतना थोड़ा तो लगता है कि भाई मैं खुद पे हूँ, राइट?
Just one thing to add here. Yeah, one thing to add here is more of ये जो guilt है ना, I feel it comes when you are just newly married.
Newly married, yes. Yeah. And if it is arranged marriage, I guess.
Yeah, maybe because of that.
Right, right.
And like even ours was not an arranged marriage.
Right. But yet
still I had it because I was new. We were newly
and
married.
you had that independence in you, ना?
Correct, correct.
तो वो भी था.
So अगर ऐसा है कि जिनका like you know शादी कब का हो चुका है and they have spent together,
right,
made
right.
money together in India and now they are on H1 and H4
right,
combination.
Right.
Then maybe ये guilt आएगा भी नहीं.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then coming back to the point, more of license करके ले लो.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of people on H4, they don't get license.
Yeah.
I don't know why, yaar. But see, you'll have car, you'll not have car, doesn't matter, right? But get license done. You should have license with you within 6 months, right?
Especially cities like Omaha. Metro cities में एक time पे हो जाता है.
What I feel is कि license ले लो, right? These are the basic things, right? And because you have that in mind कि at some point you will work, so you should be ready for that work.
Correct.
And these are the things which are needed, like license लेना, right? License ले लो. उसके बाद you may have lot of hobbies in you. You want to do something, right? जैसे कि lot of H4, they don't want to work in IT. They want to maybe start a cooking thing, catering, okay, or anything. But catering is a large business. You need to understand what catering is, right? So to understand, to study that, it will take lot of time, lot. I have seen a lot of people, they say एक बार green card आने के बाद देखेंगे, we'll open a business. No, it's not the correct way of thinking, right? You have to work on that niche for a lot of time to see if this is your niche or not, right? जैसे कि जब मैंने YouTube ये channel open किया था, people were like, okay, you are getting money of that. No, I'm not getting money, but I'm trying to see if I can find something, right? जैसे कि right now I'm on H1, I cannot earn out of YouTube. I'm not earning as well, but I'm just trying out, right? At some point जब मुझे green card मिलेगा, that time I will see.
Yeah, like right? You have to build a foundation.
Exactly, that is the right way of saying it. Build a foundation. Catering करना है, try to know कि बाबा what's catering in US, right? Because you are in US. If you want to get into art, I'll not say art because art is for yourself. If you're selling it, it's not an art anymore. It's a business, right? So if you want to do any business, जैसे कि nails का business है, right?
Anything.
बहुत सारे business है. What I'm saying, what she's saying is, at least lay out the foundation.
Correct.
कि this is what it is. Don't wait for अभी AD आने के बाद देखेंगे, right? And for that, what you have to do is open a bank account. Second thing is get license, and then third thing is get understand the business. If you want to get in IT, try to learn कि भाई what's going on right now. IT में now artificial intelligence is booming. Try to know. Now you can't do बाबा हाँ QA easy है, let's do QA. अभी कोई नहीं QA को इतना भाव देता. You have to try to get into artificial intelligence का QA. AI QA, right? There are a lot of stuff. Read it out because if you don't read, you'll not understand. And
or they can join the meetups.
Also, she said कि Baba, join meetup groups, right? Whatever business you are into, look for that category in meetup.com.
Yep.
Meet those people, right? Meet those people. And also, one advice that I give you also, always try to be in plus people and minus people. I'll explain what is plus people and minus people. Plus people are people who are smarter than you. Minus people are people who are not smarter than you. You'll understand that. I'll get a grasp of it whenever you are meeting. Try to be in both. I'll tell you why. Because हमारा confidence हिलता रहता है. Okay? ऊपर जब जाओगे plus smart people की माद में, that time confidence थोड़ा हिलेगा. But the thing is, you will listen a lot of things.
Correct.
Right? And when you get into minus group where people are not smarter, there try to give that information to them.
You can teach them.
You can teach them. What's happening here? Yep. इधर से ले रहे हो, इधर से दे रहे हो, इधर से ले रहे हो, इधर से दे रहे हो, right? So this is one of the things that you can do.
Yep.
Right? Is there anything else that you can tell them that may help H4 people? People.
Even basic thing what I can tell is like hanging out with different set of people.
Exactly.
I did not do that.
Very nice.
I should have done that. Now I feel it. Now we get busy with the responsibilities and everything, I feel.
Right.
So hanging out with the like, some random people. Random as in from, like, you, again, meetup groups could be one way, or going to some social gatherings and stuff like that, so that you learn different stuff. You learn to talk to people. You learn to listen to people.
Right.
So that will be one good way, like, to build your communication and stuff like that.
And in US, I feel that talking, it carries a lot of importance, right? If you know how to talk.
Yeah, people...
Like I have seen in lot of my in my company, lot of my colleagues, they know how to talk, but they don't know how to work. That's the thing, right? They know how to talk. So if you understand that thing, कि how to talk, how to tackle the things. Like for example, कुछ तो अगर काम दिया जाता है, वो कुछ भी नहीं करते, but they'll be able to describe it.
कि क्यों नहीं किया.
Yeah. And the same thing we cannot do it. Right? Yeah. Because we are straightforward इसमें, और हम लोगों को बात ऐसे करने नहीं आती. Right? They are good at it. And that is the skill that we have to learn from this guys.
And it is good in a way. It is required in a way. At times you really need that thing. Like, being diplomatic, being something like you say, कि घुमा फिरा के सामने वाले को convincing discussion. ये सारी चीजें करना, I think it is not easy, but it comes with time, and it also comes with the experience.
Experience also, and it takes a lot of time. Yeah. Every day is learning. Now I'm sitting here and giving you all gyan. That does not mean कि I'll carry
but it is a 10 years ka experience.
It's a 10 years ka experience. But whenever I go in Smart Plus group in office, right, I sit. It's very difficult for me to have a conversation with them. But yet, I sit.
Make an attempt.
I make an attempt. I love doing that. Right? And after that, first I used to get कि वो मुझे डरता था. अभी नहीं. I जानबूझ के I get into that. Right? So that
get into difficult situations.
Get out of my comfort zone as much as possible, because we are learning. Right? That is what it is for today's podcast, guys. Please drop in your comments. आपके कुछ भी questions रहेंगे, please drop in करो. आपको लगता है कि we should be talking about this subject, feel free to drop in that subject. Thank you for watching this video. इधर तक देखा है तो please यार like ठोक के जाओ, बहुत important है. ठीक है? Bye.